Essential just everyman for the entirety of the campaign so far.
Right.
Okay. Well, so let me get everything here. So, we pick up where we left off last time with Ransom uh, at the scene of the crime, more or less.
Right. I had looked into the air uh, tube or ventilation shaft and just saw the blood going in there,
Yeah.
or a blood flow, as it were. Hmm. Well, and he had sent the surviving scientist. I guess he wasn't actually an actual witness. He had come across the aftermath of it, just as I had. Sent him back to the Marshall station, but uh, Ransom will. Does he has his flashlight, right? He will go into the vent if it's big enough
Yeah, no,
to
you
get
can.
into.
It's a tight fit, but you can get it. But you can get in there. This is the spot that was in there was more of an air shaft and not like a maintenance entrance.
Yeah.
But you can squeeze yourself, you know, through there.
Mm, let's see. All right. Well, I'll see if I get how far the blood trail goes with my gun at the ready.
So you get down in there. The blood itself is still fairly fresh, and it's you put your hand down and you can feel the lick the not necessarily warm because when stuff hits cold ground it kind of when liquid hits cold ground it kind of automatically turns that, but it's still liquidy as you get down and you look at your hand and you see the blood on your hand and everything like that, and you're just you're sitting here and you think to yourself that the dry cleaners in this place aren't that good.
Yep. Yep. Well, uh, if it goes beyond a point where I can follow it, then I'll just turn back. But
I mean,
yeah.
like, so you get down in there, you kind of like squeeze yourself in, and you look left, you look right, and see the direction that the blood goes, and like you see that rolls around a corner of the ventilation.
Gotcha. And I can't follow it from there, or can I?
I mean, you can. It's more of a case of does Ransom look at this and like think that whatever this is gone, or is he just gonna go and follow it?
Let's see. And on the map, is these are these shafts, or are these
Those are
uh,
maintenance tunnels.
maintenance tunnels? So it's not necessarily what I'm in right now.
Correct.
Okay. Uh, the hell. What about the deputies behind me? Can I? I'll tell them that I'm heading in and to uh, have have Richard. Was it Richardson? Is it Lucas Richardson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have him get us schematics of all the air ducts. I don't care how complicated it is, but I'm gonna see go as far as I can.
Okay. So you get to the junction. It's basically kind of like T shape at this
Mm.
point. Um, Again, kind of like goes left or actually no, it's like a four-way cross. It's like a four-way crossway, but it turns around the corner, and you still see more blood going, and but you don't see a body or anything like that either.
Mm. All right. Well, in that case, I'll exit through the closest exit that I can and get back to maintenance, I suppose, to try and map this out.
Okay. Yeah, you just kind of like you shuffle your way back toward the vent that you crawled in through. Your your pant legs are, kind of have soaked up some of the blood, a lot of the blood on the ventilation floor. You get up and it's you just kind of look down at yourself and you're like, shit.
It's all in today's work, I suppose. So I'll make towards maintenance with haste. I need to figure out where this might have gone.
Okay. Bu- 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 So, let's see here. Admin tower. No, 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 no. You'd be going to these guys. Oh, actually, your stuff there. So you'll basically be kind of going through to this area. The process and disposal area is also where like a lot of the maintenance like guys come from and whatnot.
Sure.
So you'll be heading in there.
Fun. Okay. I'll get in touch, or find whoever is most familiar with the maintenance ducts.
Yeah. So you get in there, and like as you're walking down the hallways and everything like that to go down there, you're still your clothes are still covered with like blood and everything like that, and people are like looking at you really concerned as you're passing by them.
That's not my problem.
And as you eventually get there, somebody like looks at you. A couple people stop and look at you like as you arrive, and just like also looking at you with grave concern. Like, um, can we help
Who's
you?
who's in charge here?
Um,
I'll flash my badge at him if I have to.
yeah, they point you to they point you up to the top of the structure. And the guy's name is a name that I don't quite remember because we met him at like the very beginning of the campaign, and nobody's interacted with him since. Let me see. I think it's in my notes here somewhere.
Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I did not hit him, I swear. Tearing me apart.
Alien screams, "Ah, it's really tearing me apart." Who was the person who actually yeah, it was and Sean. Sean was the one who like talked to him first.
What was it, Dunkel?
Let me see. I'm looking through your stuff. Lou Brooks. That's his name.
Brooks. Okay.
Yeah. I know I wrote it in there. I'm glad I did. I was not going to remember that. But yeah, no. So he like points to you up top, and the guy yells up, "It's like, Brooks, the marshal's here. What does he want?" Kind of looks at you and
So I need maintenance shaft info. I need schematics.
what for?
Marshall's business.
It's kind of like looking over the side. It's like, give me a minute. And he eventually comes down the stairs and meets you and is like, looks at you, he's like, holy shit, Marshall, what the fuck happened to you?
Well, nothing happened to me, but seems like we've got something very dangerous that's moving through the vents. I'm pretty sure it came from Hab Complex, and it just popped up in the labs. I need to figure out what routes something could use to move around.
All right. My office is back at the in the lab area, so yeah,
I'll follow you.
Follow me. He is continuing to look at you with grave concern.
It says this isn't my blood. It's the guy who ran into our shaft lurking friend. Obviously, I need to take care of this problem.
So he leads you back, comes in through the security side. Like their whole office area is like in this area right here. Oop. Hit the back button. Did not mean to hit the back button.
Oh no.
There we go. Yeah, so you're basically in this general area over here. He goes and he's like going through a whole bunch of like or not a bunch of cabinets, but like pulls up his computer and finds us the schematics of the colony and the ventilations and everything like that. Various maintenance tunnels.
I say okay, and then I'll look through. Let's see, it was 7L9B to like find the route that the blood had taken, and I'm sure it's not going to be like a one all roads lead to Rome situation, but I just need to know.
Yeah, like it's the ventilation and everything like that through this building. It looks like its own road system, right?
Right.
Like if you were to look at New York City or Manhattan and stuff like that, kind of like how basically the road grid is set up there. It's pretty much what it would remind you of.
So pretty orderly.
Mm-hmm. And like everything leads to everywhere else.
Right.
And there are and part of the ventilation shafts lead into the maintenance shafts. Some of and then there's like main maintenance shafts that go between the various areas of the colony itself. Like under each of the hallways or whatever is like a main maintenance shaft that goes between each building to the next and everything like that.
Gotcha. Well, essentially, I'm going to have to do what Rance was planning to do is rally the troops, so to speak. How many marshals folks I can get. We know that it went from, or at least we can reasonably assume, it went from Hab Complex to Labs. So we look for just basically try and narrow it down to what routes could it have taken, search what we can of those those areas or those paths,
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can narrow down where it went from there.
Yeah. So like looking at the colony overview map and whatnot, like there are main maintenance shafts that go like, you know, in the hallways and everything like that into each of the buildings. And so
Right.
so like from the living quarters, like it basically would have gone through, you know, like this way, just under everything. And like when it reaches the space, like when it reaches the space, like it gets, you know, a little bit more maze like and everything like that, right? But between them it's just like one big thoroughfare that goes between one spot to the next.
Right. Then in that case, we have the choke points that they would have to have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, we'll have to call up Richardson and let him know that there's something in the vents. It is a man killer, and it can move long distances, and we need to flush it out.
Okay. So are you gonna go talk to him in person, or are you gonna just call him?
We have to call him.
Okay. So yeah, no, you call him up and he answers is like, "What do you got, Ransom?"
Did you hear about the missing person in labs?
So this has been maybe 30 minutes since the event happened.
Gotcha. All right, so I'll tell him that. It's like I don't know if you saw the guy we had brought in, but someone got snatched out of the labs through the air ducts. Given the amount of blood that's there, I don't think he's alive. There's something in the vents.
Shit. Yeah, no, they just brought him in. One of the scientists kind of look a little shaken up.
Yeah, he didn't see it happen, but he came to the crime scene, if that's what it is, which I got a good look at. So did a couple of the other deputies, but it definitely looks like something came in through the vents and messed up somebody, and then brought him back in through. I went into the vents as much as I could. Got good reason to believe whatever this thing is, it's traveling. It came from living quarters to the labs. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I think we have to flush this thing out, and we have to figure out where it's coming from.
Kind of just silent on the other side of the line. Obvious he's thinking about what to do next and how to go about it.
I'll tell him my plan. They're basically like, if
Like
it came.
so you just real quick, like you're making kind of your own calculations in your head, right? Of like how many actual marshals you have on the colony, and if you were to put you could put like one person at like maybe every like major maintenance junction point,
Right.
but that's it.
Right. I think my idea at least, would be to try and find. The number one thing would be to try and find evidence of where and how it had moved. So if if this blood trail is significant, I can try and follow that as far as it can go. But we have to do this systematically. There's just too much. Even with the amount of people that we have, there's got to be a way to narrow down where this thing is hiding.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted to start with the points of like the one entrances to like the labs or from living quarters to try and like figure something out there.
Mm-hmm. Richardson is like, all right, get back to the offices. I'm gonna call everybody in, and we'll figure out a plan.
All right, and just so you know, I'm pretty sure they're not saying anything, but I'm pretty sure the Marines have seen something similar, if not precisely this. We might be able to count on them. We might not be able to, but if we need manpower, couldn't hurt to ask. It's their colony too.
Yeah, we'll see. Not sure how good they're gonna be at the moment.
I'll see you there.
All right. So, Nelson,
Yes.
uh, you have decided that you're gonna meet up with Kyle for some drinks.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing.
And it's been a minute since you've been able to actually like get out, and after the stuff after the shit you've seen, you can definitely use a beer or a cocktail or shot or maybe all of the above.
Okay.
So yeah, you meet up with you meet up with Kyle in the rec area, and he's looks like he's brought a date of sorts with him, and Talia is with him too, the woman who was having drinks with y'all last time. This looks like a setup.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I'm not sure how Nelson would react in this bit, but it's like I also can't remember if I had Nelson as a non-drinker or not, but I don't know.
You did not specify.
Okay.
I mean, like, you, if I remember right, like, you had, like, drinks with them or whatever, but you weren't, like, drinking, you know?
Right. Oh, shit.
So, yeah, you meet up with them in the rec area there, or, like, on the way to it, and, you know, Kyle weighs down, it's all like, "Sup, man?"
Hey, not much. How have things been? How's it going?
"You good,
Cool.
bro? How you doing?"
All right. Yeah, all right, pretty much. Everything's good. Nothing's weird or anything. Just thought I'd hang out with y'all for a bit. Haven't seen y'all in a while. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
What are y'all up to? What's going on?
yeah, just waiting for you now, man. Gonna...
All right.
So y'all head down to or sorry, he like goes like, "All right, man, let's go. Let's get our drink on, man."
Get a drink on.
Look, you described him as a dude who drinks Monster and punches drywall, but is a good guy. So
No, yeah. So wait, is Kyle just drinking nothing but Monster?
no, but I am going off of that very vague description to give him his personality.
Understandable. Okay.
But yeah, no. So you guys head down to the rec area. Talia kind of settles up beside you, and just as you're walking, is all like, "So how you been?"
Yeah, pretty all right. You know, space cats, whatnot. But it, you know how it is.
She looks at you kind of confused, like, "Space cats? Wait."
Nah, it's a joke. Don't worry about it. You know. But yeah, how have things been on y'all's end? What's been happening, like just in general, I guess.
Well, you know, stuff's kind of slowed down since all of the all of the events have been happening. At least for us, they've been kind of having us on hold. I've honestly glad to get out a little bit amongst friends. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Actually, just out of character real quick, it's like, so none of the miners have been getting paid or anything, right? They've been just basically suffering because there has been no work at all since finding.
No, like the I mean, the way this set up was like you get a salary, like you are paid regardless,
Okay.
right? You are
Okay.
paid. It is you are paid the same whether you work 40 hours, 80 hours, or 10 hours a week, kind of thing.
Okay.
Now they don't like it when like all the miners and stuff like that don't have much to do, because then they're basically, you know,
Losing money, yeah.
just
yeah.
collecting money and stuff like that. But there's not a whole lot that they can do. Atalia is an engine. Well, remember, Atalia is an engineer like you.
Hmm. Okay.
So she's been a little bit more busy because like she spends more of her time working in the atmospheric processor than, you know, doing support for the miners.
Right.
But everything has like they basically kind of like told everybody to be on call and be where they can like reach them quickly should something happen, since the events and stuff like that of the ruins and everything that have been uncovered.
Mm. Well, I guess back to Nelson. Then I guess he could probably ask how the whole thing is with the atmosphere pressure thing going on up there. Anything
she's-
weird lately?
Yeah, no, she's working like a dream. Nothing too bad. You know, I just kind of go in the morning, and when I leave, check and do my rounds to check the gauges.
Okay. Cool. No weird noises in, like, you know, vents or anything like that?
Well, I mean, there's always weird noises, but you're gonna have to be more specific.
I don't know. Just random question. But no, yeah. Just stuff, things. Kyle, what have you been up to?
Not much, man. They had us excavating all of the. Excavating around the ruins and stuff like that, but yeah, since they had
Wait,
that
so they have
accident.
Kyle down by the ruins and shit, so he's been in the big bubble room.
No,
Or
no, he's talking about like around the structure. They're trying to like
Okay.
unearth the structure.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah,
I think it's kind of weird that Nelson hasn't. Well, I guess yeah, because Nelson's not really a miner. He's more of a just an engineer helping out with tool stuff. But it's like,
mhm.
But
Yeah, they come to they basically come to you and tell like, hey man, we need you to like
yeah.
come up with something that can do A, B, and C, but with only the parts of the thing that does A and maybe Z.
Right. Forgot my own damn job. But well, shit, Kyle, you get any souvenirs from that?
I mean, there's a lot of rocks.
Yes, rocks.
I mean, I chipped off a little bit of a brick that I, you know, just kind of like took with me, and didn't think they'd really miss that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you guys eventually, like, you know, make it into the rec area proper. You sit down, you get some drinks, and you're conversing and everything like that. And then we'll get back to that.
Okay.
What is so Jukes? Sean has tasked you with something.
Indeed, he has. He's tasked me with trying to find a way to the Oasis. And as a pilot, I'm going to go on a limb and say that Jukes probably knows that offhand that is not gonna be a likely thing. Like I assume his day job would put him on enough knowledge to know that there isn't just the random shuttle or whatever. Like he's familiar with the vehicles available, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were like I said, there was the APCs that the Marines used, but the only one that came back is a little messed up.
Right.
The only other long range transport that you can think of are the shuttles.
But those go to the station. They're not really designed for inner.
I mean, they're meant for so they have the proper engines to do atmospheric flying, but they're not meant to be their purpose on the colony is not from flying from point A to point B around the
planet.
The planet.
Right.
At least not they haven't been for a while. They can, because they were used for that initially when they were doing various survey points and everything like that.
Okay.
But their official use is to go to the colony, from the colony to the station and back.
Okay. Well, I mean, granted, that's the official use, but I think Jukes would see what his options are as far as what vehicles are if I recall, aren't the vehicles currently grounded? There's nothing going up to the station at this point, is there?
No. There was there was a lot of that stuff a couple of weeks ago, and the last one that did was to transport Psycho Corpo back up to the station to get finally loaded onto the transport ship to go home.
Okay. Right.
Now there are still shuttles in the terminal, right? Because you can't just have them all in one place.
Correct. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, if there are shuttles available capable of going to the Oasis, he's going to see which of those are actually available to him. Available as in physically, regardless of paperwork or official business or anything like that.
If you go to the ship terminal and look, there's half a dozen shuttles just sitting there.
Okay. Then the challenge in this aspect is obtaining one for use that I guess would draw the least issues, so to speak, from a paperwork standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think with that in mind, he's got someone with official company business that needs this. I mean, this is the thought process that's going through his head. There's an official company person that's going to need a ride to the Oasis. So I think Jukes is going to, I guess, for lack of better words, he's going to go to his manager and say, hey, I got a company guy who needs a ride to another part of the planet. What do I need to sign? Like that.
He looks at you. We'll just let me pull up the old name generator real quick.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think we've ever dealt with manager of
Mhm.
shipyard before.
Yep. Giles Hyde is what his name is.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Giles Hyde.
Giles Hyde. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, no, Gareth Hyde. That's yeah, Gareth. It's a little more.
Gareth Hyde. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
that's the guy that you're talking to.
All right. Yeah.
David Channel.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Jukes is gonna talk to him. He's like, Mr. Hyde, I've got a company man asking for me to give him a ride to another part of the planet. I don't think, you know, he's like, hey, you know, we're not exactly strapped for ships right now.
You got a
I
rec
know
form?
this is unusual, but
It's like you got the rec
No.
form?
do I have the rec? I assume I don't have.
Yeah,
The
like basically the requisitions, paperwork, and whatnot.
Yeah. I can get that easily enough for sure. Like this is timely business. You know, you'll get the paperwork, guy. Sir.
Well, make sure I do, because that fuel ain't cheap.
Of course. Of course.
All right. Well, I mean, what's your next course of action?
Gonna hit up. I guess I'm gonna call Anderton and say like, hey, you know, if we get the paperwork in, we've got a ship.
Yeah. So yeah, Sean, you have a call coming in from Jukes.
Hey, Sean is most likely back at the office. He'll pick up the comm, and that's great news. What paperwork do you need exactly?
Just the standard rec forms.
Okay, let me pull those up. And where should I meet you?
I assume at the shipyard.
eBay 94.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say yes.
Make up some jargon.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. I'll meet you there momentarily. Go ahead and get everything ready.
Then Jukes will proceed to do the pre-flight check work.
All right. I'm not gonna say you need to make a piloting check or anything like that, because you've gone through this motion lots of times and you're not in any like real hurry or anything like that. So, you know, no check needed here.
Understood.
So Sean, are you going to actually like get the proper paperwork up and done, or are you just kind of like go and like bull your way through stuff? Like what are you doing here?
I mean, would he have the kind of authorization just to get the okie dokie? Like, could he sign off on it himself?
Like stuff that goes off of Colony actually has to go through like proper channels and approvals and everything like that, and like records need to be made of it, because you're going away from the safety of the colony. The environment out there is really harsh. Nobody knows what's really out there. You know, death, dismemberment, and worse could possibly happen to you. and then that's company assets and everything like that possibly lost. So there's a lot of like stuff that usually has to go through the proper channels to go through this. There's no like fast passing it per se.
So he just couldn't go to Vargas and just have her sign on a dotted line.
I mean, it eventually goes through Vargas, but she like, fuck, cat. Freaking things zooming around me, jumping all over the place. But yeah, like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if she does do that, like, anything that happens would be her ass because she approved it. So that's why that kind of stuff, like, it usually takes time. Like, for example, the expedition that went out was like a 2-week approval time.
Wait. So, okay. Yeah, Sean will get some kind of official looking paperwork, and just kind of get some papers together. And he's just going to fast track it himself, essentially. But what kind of equipment would he be able to acquire in terms of like recording equipment or even like weapons?
So weapons and stuff like that is usually what the so part of like the forms and everything like that you would end up having to fill out. Hey, we're getting into bureaucracy of the game, everybody. Like a lot of the stuff that you would have to go out, it's like, so there's like forms to like go through the actual like requisition actual company assets. There's forms to go through and get Marines and everything like that to accompany you, which is usually where the weapons come from. A whole bunch of other stuff for like vehicle prep and everything like that, which is why like I said, that last expedition took like 2 weeks to get together. So there's
but he wouldn't have access to any kind of weapon, or even, it doesn't have to be a pulse rifle, but just
no, like all of the weapons, unless you were approved for a personal weapon, like are either held by the marshals or the Marines.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, he will go ahead and grab a stack of papers that he thinks looks official enough, and then make his way over to the ship terminal.
Okay. So yeah, no, you get there. You see, you can see the shuttle that Jukes is in, because it's the only one that's actually kind of has any kind of life to it. Even though you can't necessarily see him in the cockpit, you can tell that's probably the one he's in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're in the ship terminal.
Perfect. Well, Sean will approach the ship. Take a walk up the ramp.
Okay. Are you gonna stop by the office thing to drop off your totally official paperwork?
Yes, assuming that's on the way to the ramp. You'll speak to Mr. Was it Haynes?
Hyde.
Sorry, Hyde.
Yeah. Put a little. I don't know
Hello,
how
Mr.
relevant this character will be in the end, but we'll put his name in the list of NPCs we have named.
Gareth, thank you, Gareth Hyde. Hi, Mr. Hyde. I'm Sean Anderton with Wayland-Yutani, and here's the paperwork that I have, but I really need to get going.
All right. I'm gonna assume that everything's in order.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep. And you guys, you head off.
Sure do. Just a quick.
The background noise was perfect right there. As the little like ship liftoff noise went off.
Just for clarification, illustrious GM,
Mm-hmm.
would Jukes have his? Would it be reasonable for Jukes to have his personal belongings on him in anticipation of this trip out?
What personal belongings would these be?
So he has the ones that I think are probably most relevant: a flashlight, a diagnostic device, and a pistol.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
seems reasonable.
Yep. Okay. Just checking.
All right. And Sean, what are the things that you quote unquote requisitioned in your forms? Or is there anything specific that you were grabbing?
This station operates in linear space-time. Please refrain
I
from
would say
using
he
hyperspace travel and
probably would have had access to some kind of recording device.
Okay.
You look at the source code, and I guess I could just put it.
Yeah, I doubt my space Walkman will cut it, or
Right.
very.
Those
So
things are probably, let's see here.
So so we'll walk this back a little bit. So I assume that you were meaning to go back to like the labs or something like that to get some kind of equipment, right?
I mean, it was just basically just to go and film or take pictures of whatever is supposedly out there. It wasn't meant to be like a capture and bring back, just more of a
Right, but like
recorded.
just some like readout like equipment kind of thing.
Sure. Maybe an optical scope and a flashlight
Okay.
and a.
I mean, I think as far as like recording stuff goes, I'd assume like the camera on your headset sort of thing is probably
Yeah.
the
Would
sort
that
of
be
thing.
sufficient? Yeah. I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, like you can like grab like with your totally legit corporate paperwork. I mean, you could, end up grabbing some of this stuff pretty easily, right?
yeah.
Like it's not like it's like handheld things, right? It's not like super big like equipment that you have to have set up, and so like you could be able to get it easily enough without a whole lot of questions asked.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all of the stuff that would fit in a briefcase or in like a duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be anything too suspicious looking. And imagine these things would be readily available that you don't have to sign out for, because they would be, I would assume, fairly common.
Well, I mean, it's still like logistics wise, like yes, it still requires like that kind of stuff, which is what you were making all the paperwork for.
Mm-hmm.
Because bureaucracy.
Because bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I had to actually like work in basically the logistics area for a while, and yes, even like the smallest thing needed to be signed out and signed in and everything like that.
You've signed out a Bic pen.
Not that small, but like any like actual like equipment stuff had to be signed out. So yeah, like all of the stuff that like video recording, like handheld video recording equipment, or like small helmet mounted video recording equipment, hand readout stuff, all that kind of shit. Yeah, you needed to have it signed out, and so again, that's what you were making all of your bullshit paperwork for. But the guys in like the areas and whatnot didn't really like take two looks at it. It's like, yeah, this looks like a requisition form. Here you go. So So yeah, you guys, you get what you need. You can figure out all of that stuff on the way and whatnot as you lift off and leave down to the last known location that this place was.
Excellent.
Back to Ransom. Ransom, it's taken about 30 minutes to an hour to get everybody into the and collected to the marshal's office. But you're all there now.
All right, good deal. Well, I have. I'm still covered in blood, so hopefully my the seriousness of what I'm about to say will register. Basically, just letting them know that essentially the reason to believe that whatever committed the killing at the Hap complex last night managed to kill someone in the labs today, and it's moving through the maintenance tunnels and air shafts, and so we need to pair up and just, if we can, just go through the choke points of these travel systems and check for evidence that something has moved through them, or something that, or some sort of person or animal, and then we can zero in on where this thing is going and where it's coming from.
Yeah, one of the I was gonna say one of the guys was gonna raise their hand, but you said person or animal because initially you were just like a what. Somebody was gonna be like, "You sure it's a what, not a who?" But you covered that. Good job.
Yes. If it is a person, it's a very small one. This very small and very strong. Killed 2 people and managed to pull 1 full man through a 2x2 ventilation shaft. So be careful, there.
Is there anything else we know about whatever or whoever this is?
Well, it does appear that during the commotion in the labs, it seemed to have either burned something or there was some sort of chemical reaction. I'll pull out the it was a pen, right, that had the melting to it. I would, if I were to be looking around for evidence of this thing's passing, I'd be looking for some sort of damage like this, a burn, a melting chemical burn.
So you think that they're armed with some kind of something?
It's possible. Hard to say at this point, but at this point, all we really need to know is track down its movements. Because if it's using the one thing of our favor for finding this thing is if it's using the vents, there are choke points that it has to go through. There's only one cluster of tunnels that go in and out of any given, or that if it's traveling between places, there are tunnels that it has to go through. So if we can find evidence of it, we can narrow down where this thing might be, and then we can kill it.
All right. One of the other ones like pops up is like, so are we all like going in together and staying in the same spots, or what? What are we doing? What's the plan here, Ransom?
Going armed. 2, I want pairs. Checking these shafts. Don't dawdle, but just look around for obvious evidence of passage, or if there are any. I'm assuming that they're going to be grates or openings that we'll have to have gone through. And if we can find evidence, then just note that and get it to us, and then I'll track it down myself if I have to.
So, are you wanting everybody to go in through like the maintenance shafts, or are you just having people like patrolling the hallways and everything like that?
Oh, basically, I'm just going to have them go into the maintenance shafts, not like actually like move through them necessarily, um, but to like just check as close as they can to those choke points
Mhm.
to look for evidence of passage.
Okay. All right. So they seem to have an idea of like what they're doing, and everybody begins to kind of disperse. And as you are leaving the marshal's office and getting ready to go, one of the Marines comes up to you. This is it's Crow, one of the Marine that was kind of left at the colony to just kind of have a presence there. And she kind of comes up to you, is like, "So I heard you're tracking down some kind of bug."
You heard right. There's something that's going through these maintenance shafts. We're trying to nail down where it might have gone. You got anything for me?
She she holds up her rifle, is all like, "Got this."
I'll take it. But right now, I'm just putting manpower out there, see where we can figure out where it might be, because there's miles and miles of maintenance shafts, and we're gonna need to figure out how to track it down pretty quick.
Got any idea where you want to start?
Well, if it's a bug, I mean, I don't know. I'm no biologist, but figure someplace.
She holds her hand out. It's like, "Sorry, bug is just a term we grunts use for any kind of xeno."
Ah, gotcha. Well, I mean, if I were some sort of hunter killer, I'd go for someplace warm and dark, wouldn't you?
I've been on a few worlds, and I can definitely say that they that is not necessarily the rule.
Fair enough. I'm just a marshal, but I will keep you in the loop. I'll keep you and your guys in the loop. We're definitely going to need you if we do have to do any sort of focused hunting.
Well, look, I'm really the only one who's up and able at the moment. The rest of the guys are on bed rest until further notice.
Understood. Well, I appreciate your offer. I'll definitely keep you in mind.
So, are you dismissing her?
I'll get her like contact info, and personally, I'm gonna Ransom is just gonna go check some things by himself while everybody else is out looking at these choke points.
All right.
Although I would ask her, like, do you know anything about what happened out there to your squad?
She knows about the same amount that you do. Like, they've pretty much the Marines that went out have basically told their story of what happened. Like, they're not company, people. They're not trying to hold shit back or anything like that. Like, they gave it as they saw it.
I came into the trees.
Exactly. And so yeah, she knows pretty much the same amount of stuff that you do from hearing it secondhand. Well, hearing it firsthand, but basically having secondhand knowledge.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, he's going to Ransom's gonna follow his gut, so to speak, and look for like check. I guess what you would call them, environmental conditioning units, places that would be dry and warm,
All right. So where do you want to actually go and look? Go ahead. And give me a point on the map that you actually want to go and look.
Gotcha. Let's see. I'll go back to the living quarters, to the place where the HAB worker, or the maintenance worker, had shown me last session.
Okay. All right, so you're down here on the first floor here. What do you want to do?
Basically, go back up into the maintenance and the maintenance shaft.
All right, so you're gonna be poking around all in here and everything like that.
Precisely.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be, going from there. If I can make my way from this spot into the tunnels that lead out to the rest of the base, then I'll check those spots as well.
Okay. So yeah, the main shaft that goes through the main maintenance shaft that goes through the rest of the facility is like, you go in through the area that you're at right there, and there's a large, door that leads to basically extremely long piped hallway that you can see runs back the way that you came coming in.
Okay. Well, he's just going to do what he can to, go. The only places where he knows this thing has been are the where the guy died on, was it I guess it's the 7th floor or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And the place where it snatched up the guy in the lab. So I'm gonna start where it started and see if I can look for signs of burning or more like detritus. Just look for any evidence. I need something.
All right. Go ahead and make an observation check.
Cool.
Or do you want to use your investigation skill? Well, I don't think there's really anything you can particularly use your investigation skill for here. I think it would just be an observation check.
1.
All right, you successfully observe your surroundings. You don't really see anything, and this is like at you like doing this over the course of like, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour of like looking through the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see any real signs of whatever this thing has been back this way as of recent.
Okay. So if it's bringing it eventually, I mean, the idea is that it brought the guy's body back somewhere, but it didn't take it back here. All right. So in that case, I'll head through the tunnels and just sort of.
All right. Which way do you want to head? So you started here, and you're going to be going this way through the maintenance tunnels.
Let's see.
So just tell me where you're trying to get to.
Admin.
Gonna head to admin? Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, you spend a good like 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes here in the living quarters. So in that time, Mr. Nelson.
Yo.
You are having a time with your buddies.
A time, yes, okay.
Whether or not it's a good time or a bad time is up to you. But you guys are you're all talking. You're just kind of being social. Is Nelson drinking at all, or is he just kind of like chilling?
I think he's settled for maybe 1 or 2, but not like going
has Nelson started to regale everybody with his experience from like the last night?
I was actually kind of thinking, like, because we were talking about the whole Marines and shit, does everybody, like, in this kind of floor area kind of know about the whole Marine shit? Or.
There are. So the people at large know the Marines are back, know that they got injured somehow, but they don't really know what exactly happened, right?
Hmm.
The-
Okay.
But
Well,
there
'cause
are,
it's like,
there are
depending on-
there are rumors flying about at best.
Yeah.
Please refrain from
Uh,
using hyperspace travel and communication.
So I guess, like, everything is kind of like calm down. We're all just kind of like doing whatever. I guess Nelson could just be like, so, you guys know about the whole Marine thing a little while back, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I mean, so Kyle's like, yeah, man, no, I heard that there was some kind of like giant monster out there that just fucked them up.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of some stupid shit, right? It's weird. It's like there's been nothing that I mean, we don't know jack of anything on this planet, but it's like, a monster. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, like think about it. It's like, it's like this colony's been here for a while now. We haven't run into anything. Of course, there's bound to be something out there.
Hmm. Really weird. But I don't know. I feel like with people going missing and whatnot, it's kind of got me thinking a little bit.
He kind of like looks at you as all like, what do you mean, like people going missing?
Well, you heard about the murders, right?
Oh yeah, I heard some like suit went nutso before we left.
You know why?
Some people just aren't cut out for colony life, man.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. The one recently, though, it's like up in my floor, basically. Like, is Kyle on the same floor, or is he like somewhere else?
He's
or
somewhere. He's somewhere else.
Like an entirely different.
I mean, he lives in the same like living quarters and stuff like that, but like he's not necessarily on the same floor you are.
Right. But it's like, Kyle would have heard about that if you heard about the whole Marine thing then.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, like but like the actual details of it like are not known. It's like everybody just kind of got like the breaking news report version, more details to come kind of thing.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of a way to word this the way Nelson would, and not like just rehash the same information that we just said.
Right.
But I guess Nelson's gonna be like, it's like with that kind of shit with the Marines and whatnot, and the murders that are happening here. It's like it might be connected somehow. I don't know.
I mean, it could be, or it could just be that like the stress is getting to people. I mean, I can only imagine what all those suits have to go through with all the bullshit that they have to deal with. I mean, I have to deal with some bullshit, but not like they have to deal with some bullshit.
Yes, suits. Yes, bullshit. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else to go with, but I got nothing.
All right. Well, I mean, so you guys are kind of just like continue like talking about stuff, and all of a sudden the peace and tranquility is kind of broken by a small group of people. They kind of you hear like someone like scream, and then you see a bunch of like people just kind of like scattering from one of the areas in the kind of near like one of the restaurant areas.
Oh, great. I mean, should I make an observation check, or is it even in the proximity that I can do that?
I mean, all you can really like, there's no real observation check that you need to make here. Is like all you can see like people running, and like they're running out of the area.
All right. Nelson's gonna stand up and look in the direction they're running from.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how to go about this, but I guess he'd ask the others, like, y'all heard that shit, right?
They have all reacted to like this as well. So yeah, there, like they all see the people running and screaming, and everybody's just kind of like looking at each other a little confused, like, and whatnot. And then there's like other people kind of sitting in the area or whatever, that like have seen this as well and are wondering what the hell is going on.
Okay. Where is there? Let me see here real quick. Oh, right. Colony map is the colony map. Can we actually zoom in on the living quarters real quick?
On the living quarters, yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out where everybody is, and
no, you're not in the living quarters. You're in the rec area.
right. Well then, I meant to make an actual like zoomed in map, but I just never. Okay.
Think it like I said, like think of it like a mall food court kind of setup. But with like actual like that leads into like actual places and not just like large food stalls.
So are we talking like a Dave and Buster's?
No, well, like I said, like a mall food court is the best way I can like describe it. Like there's a bunch of like seating and stuff like that in like the center area and places that hang out, but like where like the food stalls and everything would be, there's like actual like places to go into.
Okay.
So is there anything going on, or is everybody already left the area because they've been screaming and running?
I mean, like, yeah, people have like screamed and ran and whatnot, and like there are like some curious people like wondering what the hell is going on. Like some people have kind of started to slowly approach the place that everyone was running out of.
Okay. I guess Nelson could kind of like also like be in the back, kind of look over people's shoulders and not quite run up to the front, but and kind of look as well.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a crowd or anything like that, right? It's just kind of like one or two people have like kind of started to approach it.
Okay.
So the question is Nelson going to actually like approach, or is he going to keep his distance?
He's going to keep his distance for a bit, and if possible, I'm not sure what kind of cover there is, assuming that there's some type of small decorative counters or some bullshit. But cover would be nice.
I mean, yeah, there's like tables and everything like that. They're most, they're not like, you know, fancy things and whatnot, but they are like kind of sturdy enough, like metal tables and stuff like that that aren't meant to like break under like a small amount of weight.
Hmm. Can we assume that somebody is actually getting a marshal, or are they all just running back to their rooms?
Probably somebody is.
Okay.
I mean, you would hope that somebody is.
Is there anything actually happening in the restaurant area, or is everything just quiet?
Everything's kind of quiet. Like, think of like in a movie when this situation happens, like everybody's just kind of like looking and nothing happens.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. Nelson's gonna slowly approach and just keep an eye out for anything.
Okay. There's like one or two other people kind of like approaching the actual like front door to the place as well.
Anybody got a light?
I mean, it's lit up. Like you're
Okay.
basically going into one of the restaurants more or less.
Got it. Okay. What's the restaurant? What's the restaurant look like?
It's the I forget what I called it, but it's basically the one that's like the generic like Americana style restaurant.
Hmm. Which ironically tells me nothing, but
I mean, think of like just kind of
yeah.
think like of a diner type place.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. It's like a diner.
And is Nelson's friends doing anything, or are they also running and screaming?
No, they're not running and screaming, but like you're approaching. Kyle's hanging back. The other two are kind of hanging back as well.
Okay. Nelson's gonna kind of like still keep his distance from like the entryways, but just kind of move in closer, I guess. I'm not sure what direction it would be coming from, but he could probably shout, not shout, but be like, hello? You good?
You don't really hear anything, like nobody saying anything. Let me pull up a quick little.
Gonna be fucking dead.
Let's see.
Nelson's literally the generic white dude in every horror movie.
That's basically kind of like how it's laid out.
Okay.
Like that generic, like, kind of dining in spaces and area.
I don't know if y'all seen this. It's like, hello, is Billy there? And it's like,
Billy?
oh, man, fuck Billy. Billy's dead. Running shit. But it's like, but no,
What was
it's like
it? The Pablo Francisco skit? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't remember the dude's name, but he did it on like Vine or TikTok or no, it was definitely in Vine. TikTok did not exist. But he's just doing the the horror movie generic example bullshit.
Yeah,
But I'm assuming whatever the fuck happened is probably in the either the booth seating or it's the cooking serving area. I doubt anything is happening in the janitor closet, but is Nelson already inside, or is he
Did you
to
go?
the door?
I mean, do you tell me? Did he go inside or no?
Okay.
Or was he just like at the door?
He was
Like,
out. I had it in mind because we were saying it was like a cafeteria kind of area, so I was assuming that was like an open thing that you can kind of peer inside already. But if it's a closed door, closed wall restaurant thing, then
I mean, like it's got like
Yes,
windows.
not actually
It's got like windows and stuff that you can see in, right? And then it's got the door
Okay.
that goes into it.
Nelson's gonna slowly open the door and like see if there's anything like on the floor or walls that would be, signs of struggle or anything like that.
I mean, you see a whole bunch of shit just like strewn about and whatnot, as everybody who was kind of like in there just kind of like booked it out as quick as possible. I didn't really worry about stacking the plates or anything like that, so there's like shit thrown all over the place.
Okay.
You do hear kind of something though.
Like what? Like metal bumping or like like Half-Life 2 collision noises?
Kind of like in the back, you can kind of hear. Let's see here. You kind of hear in like the back, like where the storage room area would be. On this little map here.
Okay.
Good old Nelson Sharp, as usual, horror movie main character. Yeah.
Yep.
But you kind of hear.
Alrighty then.
Like in the back area there. Along with what sounds kind of like a kind of like crunching, or like you hear like some other like noises along with it that you're not quite sure what they would be, but it's like a yeah, you hear some other noises in there, kind of like crunching and squishing and everything like that.
Okay. Kyle, come here.
Kind of like looks at you and is like, because he's still like a little bit of a distance away, right? And he kind of like gives you that look where like you kind of like raise your head up, as all like, what?
It's like I'm like waving at him, like, kind of grimacing, like come over here. I'm like staring at him, like come over here, come here.
He eventually like walks over. He like takes himself away from like his date, who is kind of like holding onto his arm and everything like that, and just kind of like does the motion of all like, stay here, I'll be right back kind of thing. It's like, what is it, man?
Right. There's some shit going on in the back. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I need you to watch me, okay?
All right. You want me to just watch the door right here? Just like keep it open or something?
Yeah. If you're not keeping it, or just watch my back, just in general.
He like looks around and whatnot, and grabs like a random grabs a spread knife off of the table. It's like, all right, man, I got your back.
Okay. Nelson's gonna make his way over to the cooking and serving space, like slowly.
Mm-hmm. There was stuff left cooking on the stove and everything like that. It's kind of started to burn and whatnot.
He's kind of looking around, like on the counters and shit, and I think Nelson's probably gonna pick up a frying pan if there is one, or a skillet.
Yeah, no, totally.
And he's gonna pick up another one.
dual wield skillets.
And he's gonna take another couple steps towards the that door that's leading towards the storage room. But he's gonna throw the skillet at the door.
Okay.
And then immediately take cover.
As you do that, hold on. Let me find the. I have the thing. Where did it go?
A thing. What thing?
The noises that I'm trying to find.
Station operates in linear space.
You know what? I think
Please
this
refrain from
one.
using hyperspace travel and communications.
This one worked. Actually, not. God damn it. This worked. So you throw the thing, and then you hear the. As like when you throw the pan at the door and everything like that, you hear that on the other side.
Hmm. All right, Nelson's going to like. Okay, is the counter seating like? I don't
Like you could dive behind it and like if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I think Nelson's going to try to dive behind it.
All right. So give me a mobility check to see if you make it behind there before whatever happens.
Okay.
At least I think it's mobility. Let me check. I don't think there's anything else really that I would use here.
Look at that. Tool mobility. No modifiers, right?
Yeah, no, mobility. Mobility would be it. 3 successes is pretty good.
All right. Cool.
So you have pan in one hand, you grab another one. You throw the pan, you throw the pan at it, and you hear the noise, and then let me do this. You dive behind the.
Dunk.
Yeah, right. You dive behind it.
I'm thinking specifically the Team Fortress 2 like pan collision sound.
Mm-hmm. And then as this gigantic creature just kind of like busts through the door.
Oh shit. Kyle, fucking run! Fucking run! And Nelson's also gonna make it through for the door and just fucking bolt. Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
As you run out the door, as this thing starts chasing you guys.
Okay.
As you bust out of the restaurant and into the thing, and it comes out to like the entire area just becomes complete chaos. It's like everybody starts screaming and running and going for cover.
Is there anybody near Nelson that he's going to pass up that he might be able to trip?
When you came out of the thing, like it was pretty like, you know, cleared out in front of the place itself. So I mean, there are other people around, but like nobody like immediate. But like this thing is now like in the middle of it, and it does stop for a second as it like takes in its surroundings of all of the people that are around it and whatnot, and just kind of, you know, lets out another screech.
Mm. And Nelson's gonna keep on fucking running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like everybody is basically running now. Let's see. Also, gain stress. I'm gonna say 2 levels of stress here.
2. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So I had 1 at the beginning. Should I have gotten rid of that, or do I keep that?
No, you kept that one.
Okay, so I now have 3 stress.
Yes.
Actually, wait. I'm looking at this. Long haul per act in a cinematic play and once per game session in
Yeah,
campaign
that's if
play.
you roll, like, when you're rolling the stress die and the thing comes
stress
up as a
die.
little face hugger thing, you can ignore it.
Got it. Okay, cool. Never mind. I'm trying to actually, look through my abilities here.
Yeah, you got dodge and long haul.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to keep on running. What's the distance between Nelson and the exit, if you can get there in time? And
I'd say maybe about 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay. That's not too bad, and considering there's maybe like 20 to 40 people in the area still.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, he's gonna fucking run there for a bit, and assuming Kyle and the other 2 are right behind me.
So Kyle was right behind you. The other 2 were kind of like hanging back, so they're in the crowd, proper.
Well.
So, yeah. I did not prepare like action music or anything like that. So,
It's all good.
So yeah, people are starting to run all over the place and like scatter. People are like falling over each other, falling over the tables and chairs and everything like that, and it's just like absolute chaos in the in the recreational area right now.
Okay.
And somebody eventually pulls down the alarm. Ransom.
That's me.
You are in the maintenance tunnels right now, like the main one kind of coming through this area right now. You're about, say, like halfway down it, right? And
Yeah.
you hear the alarm going off above you in the facility.
All right, I'm gonna make my way up into the main thoroughfares as soon as I can, or however I can.
Okay. You find an egress point to get out into the hallway, and as soon as you do, like, you see all kinds of people like running from this junction right here.
I'm gonna book it to where they are running away from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get to the junction point right there, and as you come to the junction point, and you kind of look into the thing there. What do I want to do here? Nelson, pick a number 1 through 10.
7.
That was close.
What was that number for?
Whether or not it was actually going to go after you or not.
Oh, fucking boy.
So if it landed on 7, it was going to go after you. But it jumps on somebody else.
All fucking righty.
But yeah, so Ransom, you round the corner as you see this large black creature. Its head is elongated. It looks kind of skeletal and mechanical as well in nature. Jump on top of somebody and just start ripping into them.
You see, well, I'm going to pull out my gun and just sort of calmly point at it and shoot at it.
Okay.
Assume I can add a stress level from seeing it.
Yes, add a stress.
Actually, no, I'm just going to point my gun at it.
Okay, so you're just kind of like, you have your gun up because I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't like immediately shoot because people are still kind of like running out of the area.
Yeah, all sort of. How many people are still left in the place? Is there a way of sealing it off? This is just the restaurant, or is this like the
the open like rec area right now?
Gotcha.
Also,
Well,
what
I've
is
got
your
my
weapon?
hand radio. I'll take out my hand radio and say, "Ransom to base. It is in the recreation center."
That's pretty calm for seeing whatever the hell this thing is.
Well, I've been waiting a long time to meet this thing. I'm going to sort of cautiously sort of move towards it,
Mm-hmm.
my gun out, but at the sort of tip downwards and just sort of study it and see
Yeah.
what it's doing.
Okay, so like it's like ripping into this person. This person you see is like no longer moving, and then like it starts kind of dragging it back toward where it came from, as it doesn't look like if it's going to eat this person, it doesn't look like it wants to do it here. So it starts dragging it back toward the cafe area.
I'll watch and observe. I'll follow and observe.
Okay, not opening fire yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So yeah, no, like it goes in and drags it in past the doorway and just kind of keeps going.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna watch it go and then secure the area and wait for backup.
Okay. You see it eventually, like you saw it like kind of go back around the corner, back behind probably the counter area and whatnot, but you do not have a visual on it anymore.
Oh, in that case, I'll continue. I thought I saw it actually go into the vent.
No.
Oh, in that case, I'll continue to follow it.
Okay. So yeah, you see it go behind the counter, like where the little map here says cooking and serving space or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, it goes back to you see it go behind there and whatnot. You can kind of see like part of it, bobbing up and down as it continues to drag the body and whatnot. Do you go in or are you hanging out outside?
I'll do a little whistle, like, see if it acknowledges me.
Well, so the door. Like, do you go into the cafe or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So as you do that, it like pops up and it like it's kind of like it hisses at you.
I'll hiss back.
But yeah, it's doing but yeah, it's making.
I'll find you.
I mean, right now it's just kind of like you have your gun pointed at it. It's kind of like staring you down. You're doing kind of a one-on-one thing here, and it's kind of like trying to take its measure of you at the moment. It is kind of what you think it's probably doing.
Oh, Ransom is smiling pleasantly at it. He says, well, I'm glad I could finally see what it is I'm dealing with here.
Mm-hmm. Do you make any, like... So you're just kind of like standing there with your gun pointed at, not really doing much of anything, but you're basically standing your ground on it.
I'll sort of like sidestep to the left, see if it follows me, and just with its attention, or I don't know if it has eyes, so it can't. I don't know if it's gazing necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, like as you move, it kind of like does that at you, but it doesn't make any definite motion at you. It kind of continues, hissing at you and everything like that.
I'm afraid this is the last time we're going to be meeting under such.
Did you give yourself a stress for this, by the way?
Yes, I did, or at least I got to give him a stress for walking in on the thing.
Okay.
But,
go ahead and give yourself one more stress as you're like facing this thing down, and then give me a panic roll. See if anything happens to you. What is a 9?
I forget. I think that might be dropping something. I can't remember if that's 9 or 11.
Book. Wrong book. No, I don't want to do this. Mechanic should be right here. That's actions.
Didn't we have a? There was a cheat sheet, wasn't there? Like a sort of a.
Yeah, but that was the cheat sheet one I have is for like specific skill ones.
Right.
I'm looking for the general panic table. Which
general panic for 9 is drop item.
Drop item. Okay.
So he just drops the gun. He says, "Oh."
Yeah. So when it like screams at you that one time, like you weren't really expecting it, right? So it's like does that and like startles you as you drop your gun. And let me see. As you drop your gun and it goes off, and as it goes off and it screams, and then like Ransom, evens or odds?
Evens.
Evens. All right. All right. As the gun goes off, it fires. It screams, and then it. You think it's about to like pounce at you, but it decides to grab its meal and then just kind of dash off into the back of the diner area.
I'll pick up the gun and pursue it.
Yeah. As you pick up the gun and you run after it. You go back into the storage room, having your gun up, ready to fire at it because you think it's probably going to like try and ambush you. As you hear it. Let's see here. as it has gone back through the ventilation.
So do I hear about where it is?
You can kind of hear the direction that it's going. Like you can
gonna
roughly
fire
hear the direction that it's going.
Can I fire my gun towards where I think it is?
Sure.
Attention all Andromedans.
We're gonna do that.
Station
Just sort of
operates in linear space.
fire at the
Please
ceiling.
refrain from using hyperspace travel and communication.
So you fire where you think it's going. You know, you hear it, the bullet, like, you know, hitting metal and everything like that, but you don't like hear any like screeches of pain or anything like that.
I'll continue just sort of walking along where I was hearing it, and just continuing until
Like from where you're at right now, it's like you're gonna have to like go out of the actual place and whatnot, because it's, you know, it went into the ventilation of like this place, but you're basically like, if you look at the little map area again, you're basically like in the storage room area.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So I'd have to go out to the cooking serving space, or
Yeah, you'd have to go like back out into the actual like outside of the place, and like then just kind of like run to where you think that the direction of this thing is going.
I'm gonna let it go. Or I mean, it's not really about me letting it go. It's more about just me not being able to.
Yeah, not being able to really pursue it.
Precisely. Well, I'll holster my gun and sort of leave and make just search for. I guess I'm assuming people aren't sticking around.
No, like the area is cleared out.
Yeah.
But like as you're walking out of the place, you can see some of the deputies and deputy marshals and all that kind of stuff running in and whatnot. Their weapons are drawn, and they come up and they see you walk out. It's all like, the hell, Ransom? What's going on?
I met it.
They're looking around. They can see the blood splatter on the ground. Like, what is it?
I don't know yet, but we've got quite a task ahead of us.
And we will then switch scenes to Jukes and Sean.
Yo.
So you guys are heading off to this oasis hotspot area.
Indeed.
There's a little bit of time. Flying the actual shuttle, it's only going to take you about maybe 10-15 minutes or so to get there. As opposed to like a land vehicle that moves much slower.
There's no unusual weather or the like that would make travel more difficult.
No, not there. Like, there's no like heavy winds or anything like that. No.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you guys eventually get there. You do kind of like a path, like you find you get to the coordinates, and being that you're up in the air, you're able to kind of like start seeing it in the distance, right? It's kind of this weirdly colorful, lush plant life.
Indeed. So, I've and Jace, interrupt me if I'm incorrect in this assessment, but I believe what might occur at this point is that Jukes would, like, as they're approaching this area, he would look for a place to land, but Sean would want Jukes to like fly around the area instead to try to like scope out the area from above, so to speak.
Right. I mean, what Sean wants to do, and he would have explained this to Jukes on that 10 to 15 minute hike out there. Kind of do like a quick flyby just to get like an assessment of the land. That way he can start to record and take pictures of what's out there. And if we were able to spot any kind of debris or wreckage from the other expedition, maybe kind of, if it's possible, to kind of hover around or touch down close to that so we can go and just take pictures and then head back out. Does that make sense?
Sure. Go ahead and give me observation checks, both of you, as you do your flyby. Jukes, go ahead and give me a minus. Do me a -1 on yours, since you're also kind of concentrate on flying.
Alrighty. -1.
All right,
Great
so you
eyes,
guys,
these
as you guys are kind of flying by, doing your circling and whatnot, you can see where the APC, one of the original APCs, had parked, and well, actually no, that's not where you see. But what you see is kind of at one of the entrances of this area. What look like bodies on the ground.
Can we tell anything other than just the shapes? Like, are wounds visible, or like
you are far too high up to be able to tell that kind of stuff.
Okay. Jukes, can you get us down closer to that spot there? Sean will point to closer to the that entranceway.
Sure can.
So how close are you wanting to get? Like, are you just want to do another flyby, or do you want to actually like land in that area?
I'm gonna land unless. I mean, well, even if Sean objects, I think Jukes is gonna say like, "Hey, we're not gonna get a good look unless we actually, drop by. You can stay in the ship. I can check it out myself, but there's only so much you can do when you're in the air."
Well, let's land down over here. We'll kind of point in a general vicinity of that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So you land kind of in this spot that's like just outside of it, where the ice and snow of the area is kind of like just partially melted. Kind of like where it's changing from like snow to dirt kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I assume you get out from that.
Jukes certainly does. And
Sean will walk. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
There are oxygen tanks and stuff on the actual shuttle itself. So there was no needing to remember bringing like your own stuff. There's a couple of suits on the shuttle.
Good to know. Well, yeah. After they land, Jukes would definitely take the lead, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
If for no other reason than, again, then Sean is his paycheck, and he doesn't want to endanger his paycheck any more than he has to.
So you get over there, and you eventually see two corpses. One very animal-like, and one humanoid. One of them seems to be wearing a very battered and torn environment suit. the humanoid corpse does, and then the other one is this kind of very pale-ish creature that has a kind of bulbous head. Don't really, just at a glance of it, don't really see any obvious eyes of any sort.
You see any kind of equipment near the human-like corpse?
No.
No.
Do either of them have any parent identification?
Not on the visible suit. No.
Okay.
You would potentially have to get the suit off of the person to see any like name tag or anything like that.
Okay.
Which is an ordeal in itself.
Right.
So the white creature, what's the is it the size of a human, or is it like a dog, or how's the?
It is fairly large. Yes, it is. You would think that if it were to stand up, it would be taller than you.
Sean will
You do
motion
not.
over
You do.
to
You think to yourself, you do not want to see this thing actually standing in front of you.
but it's clearly dead.
It is clearly dead. Yes.
Okay. So Sean's going to motion over to Jukes to grab this thing's feet, and Sean will throw the camera over his shoulder strap hanging on the shoulder, and kind of reach over to grab this thing's shoulders and kind of haul it back towards the ship.
Jukes complies.
Okay. You're not worried about like quarantines or anything like that?
Well, the Marines were already exposed to whatever this is, so no.
And his paycheck, if he's saying to do something, he's going to follow with it.
Okay. So yeah, no, you drag this thing onto the ship.
Okay.
Don will say, I think that's sufficient, don't you?
If you say so, sir.
You have a different opinion?
No. Just. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's looking around. Doesn't seem to be anything else obviously of note to scope out.
I mean, so the person and whatnot, the human-like corpse looks gnarly, right? I mean, out of character, like this person obviously turned into an abomination, right?
Yeah.
Is in the stage of doing so.
Right.
So they look like some, if they to your characters, they definitely look like they were infected with something before they died.
Right. So yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
But no, I was just gonna say, for the guy we brought aboard, if there's like a compartment of the ship or whatever that we can keep them in, I think it would make sense to keep them in that compartment.
I mean, there's a small like cargo bay.
Yeah, we could keep them in the cargo bay area then.
Would we have access to anything that would act as a body bag? Could act as a body bag?
Nothing like that. No, I mean, there's some like, probably the closest you could get would be kind of like some of the cargo webbing.
I mean, it seems dead, right? So
Yeah.
We're just making sure the things, maybe there's some off-planet parasites that decompose the body that we don't want to keep in contact with or something, but otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, when Sean would have looked upon what I know as the abomination,
Mhm.
he probably would want to stay clear of this human turning into something else, and just grab the thing that clearly looks, no pun intended, alien,
Yeah.
to a human. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Sean will just kind of wipe his hands clean and push the button to close the bay door. Say, let's get back to the colony.
All right.
Yeah. So you load this thing in, and it, you know, that I assume you grab like the webbing or whatever, just kind of like cover it up or some shit like that.
Sure.
Yeah, just so it's not like rolling around, right?
Right.
Right, exactly. You want to
Yeah.
keep it, just like if you put something in your trunk, you don't want it to shift around when you're. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you do that. You go back cockpit and you lift off and you head back.
Yep.
Do either of you like radio back in or anything like that, telling somebody to like be prepared to receive you, that you've got something or anything like that? Or are you just gonna show up and surprise everybody?
Hey,
So-
everybody, look, we found.
Okay, so two questions to that then. I assume the like standard procedure from a pilot's perspective is to like radio to say like, hey, we're coming back with blah blah blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the standard.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So Jukes is gonna like relay that to Sean and see if he objects to that. Like, is this something that we need to keep hush?
I would, like, out of character, Sean wants to get some kind of specimen or something to bring back that's tangible, right? With hopes of getting one up on Vargas, because he
Right.
feels that she's incompetent in the role that she's in. And that if he can get one up on her saying, this is what I found,
Mhm.
then he'll be able to either boot her out or get it better somewhere else. So I think he would want to keep that on the hush hush.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd still have to make your pre-arrival plans back, like notifications saying, "Hey, we're going to be landing." That's like the purpose of the expedition out and what we're bringing back, like their cargo.
Right.
I think Sean would want to keep that hush hush.
Right.
Hush hush.
Okay.
So with that in mind, Jukes is basically going to do the bare minimum to, try to assuage any suspicion. We just came back, standard check-in, whatever. There's nothing to report.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you put in all you talk all your pilot babble of heading back, how far out you are, how long,
Correct.
your landing space, all that other kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So Sean, are you gonna try and get in contact with anybody there before you arrive, or are you just gonna like? What is the plan? Are you gonna try contact first off? Are you gonna contact anybody before you arrive or no?
He's going to contact Ed Hart. Hart is it's the NPC that also works for Wayland Yutani. That is his best friend.
Mm-hmm. The computer technician.
Correct. Yeah. He's going to ask Ed Hart to bring a biocontainer, a large biocontainer, or a sealed container, to Docking Bay 94.
He tells you that he doesn't have access to that kind of equipment, and what exactly it was like. The hell do you what the hell do you need it for? And two, he doesn't have access to that kind of equipment.
Well, I will make sure you have access to that equipment. I just need you to meet me there, and if we get this biocontainer, this will be our ticket off this colony.
Okay. So actually, rolling that back real quick, your personal communicators cannot like
Attention all
your personal
development
communicator cannot actually
and
reach that
installation
distance.
operations in
Oh,
space
damn
time.
it.
Please refrain from using
So,
hypersonic travel and
I guess Sean
communication.
couldn't contact anyone until they got closer, right?
Yeah, so I wasn't even like thinking about it at first, but I
Okay.
I remembered that I was like thinking in my head, so like, okay, the radio communication on the vehicles is different from your personal communication that you actually need
Sure.
certain relays for.
That's fine. So I mean, I guess when the shuttle is approaching to land to dock, that's when he could make that personal call, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we'll just wait to do that when we.
I'm just assuming the equivalent of like when your airplane lands, they say like, now you can, turn on your cell phone.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Right.
So yeah, when you land, like you get those messages back, and you hit like one thing is all like you get like one more message is like, hold on, let me make a call real quick, kind of thing. And
For what it's worth, if there's any time that needs to be bought, Jukes will like stretch out the official like taxiing and all that crap that, to give as much time, if that's like, if he's looking at Anderton and Anderton's like, I need time, he's gonna stretch out that time as much as he can.
yeah, I mean, like you can go ahead and like make like one or two passes over the colony before landing and whatnot. It's not too out of the ordinary, but like stalling for time for too much, like somebody's gonna think something's wrong.
Sure.
I mean, and once we land too, it's not like we're going to have a boarding party of the shuttle, right?
But yeah, so as eventually as you land, about 5 minutes afterward, you see Hart, and he's actually followed by two of the science team, or two of the scientists on the base, and they are basically calling in what you asked for. So they walk up to you, and Eddie here looks at you and says, so what's this about?
Sean will look over to the two scientists and kind of raise his brow and say, thank you for your help. We'll take it from here.
They kind of look at you. It's all like, sir, do you know how to use one of these things?
It can't be that complicated. Just show me very quickly here. Just show me how to open it and close it.
They look back at each other. It's all like, with all due respect, sir, we would probably be better equipped to handle whatever it is to use, whatever you're using this thing for.
Sean's going to kind of purse his lips together and, all right, fine. And he'll step aside and motion towards the cargo bay of the ship, the shuttle.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they fall. Do you lead them, or do you just kind of like point up the ramp?
He'll point, so they walk up first, and then he'll walk behind them.
Okay, so they start wheeling it up, and you walk up behind them. Eddie kind of like follows behind you. It's all like, so you're gonna tell me what the fuck is that?
This is why I didn't want to tell you over the comms.
The two like science techs are kind of like looking at each other and like looking back at you and looking at the thing on the floor.
different universe.
Kill you. Well, are you going to put it in the container or not?
Yeah, after they like come out of their shock, they kind of like grab under the carts and stuff like that. It's got little cabinets and stuff like that on there, and like they put on some like, you know, very heavy duty gloves and everything like that. Oh, open up the container and start kind of trying to haul this thing in. It looks like they're struggling a little bit, you know, because they're not very they're science geeks. They're not, you know, very muscular.
They insisted on doing it themselves, so have at it.
Yeah. After some time, you know, after about 10 minutes of like futzing around with this thing, trying to like lift it up high enough to get it in, they eventually are like, okay, let's they eventually come, it's like, okay, let's roll this thing over back onto the thing, and then we'll lift the netting, and then we'll be able to just kind of lay it in there. And, meanwhile, you're kind of just like, and Eddie doesn't really like say anything to you. He's just kind of like looking at them do this thing, and I assume you're just kind of like watching them with like your best corporate indifference / scowl on your face.
Arms crossed, you know, arms folded over across my chest. Just kind of like, well, you know, I'm not helping you because you want me to do this by yourself. So that's what you get. That's what you get.
And Jukes is like doing post-pilot check stuff, so he's not even around for this stuff.
Let's see. Sean, roll me a d10. Yeah, just like roll 1d.
Is it
like,
R1?
It's slash roll.
Slash roll.
Yeah.
1d10. Wow.
All right. So as these guys are getting all the stuff in there and whatnot, and they load it up, they close up the container and everything, and are starting to roll it out. And I assume you are like starting to follow them as they roll it out, right?
Yes.
You see Vargas like round the corner into the ship terminal. She like comes in and says, "Anderton, what the fuck are you doing?"
He'll just kind of smirk and say, "I'm securing a specimen for the company."
And who authorized you to go out and take a ship?
I authorized myself.
You don't have that kind of authorization.
It worked. And
She
he'll
just
just kind of
She just kind
keep
of like
moving.
is looking at you and seething. And she's not quite sure exactly what to say to you that would actually get under your skin, because she sees a look on your face and it's just kind of like she like sees a look on your face and says like, I have something that's going to your look is, I have something that's gonna shoot me up the ladder so fast it'll make your head spin, kind of thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you can kind of you see that she's the corporate wheels in her head are turning, trying to figure out what she's going to do with you and how she's going to just, you know, rake you across the coals for whatever it is that you've done.
Well, you know, and Sean's going to, as he kind of passes by, he'll just kind of reach out and put a hand on her shoulder and just say, you know, this is something that both of us will benefit from. Trust me.
She like shrugs
And
it.
you'll-
She like shrugs her hand off and is all like, she's so pissed that she's kind of speechless right now. And trying to figure out how I'm gonna word this. She more or less, yeah, she goes off. It's all like, you know, we're on a lockdown right now.
Or
There's something in the facility.
I don't see how that's our problem.
It's our problem because apparently it's aggressive.
Isn't this what the marshals should be handling?
It's our problem because Weyland Yutani people are apparently being killed by it, and that's money. And then I have you going off willy-nilly in a ship to God knows where. And she just kind of like, she just is kind of like making this motion of, she's trying to like string words and phrases and stuff together to kind of get you to feel the gravity of the situation, but she's like, if she had a character sheet, her stress level would be anywhere between like, you know, 8 and 9 at the moment.
Or
It's kind
part of this.
on a mechanical level.
Right. Yeah, Sean's just completely dismissive of her apprehensions and her stress,
Mhm.
because right now he's just solely focused on getting this information of the specimen out to corporate.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to, you can just, you know, keep on, you know, walking by her, and just kind of leave her to her rambling.
Yeah, he is. He's just gonna kind of leave her to her own devices.
Okay. So yeah, I assume you're wheeling this into the lab area eventually.
With the two scientists, yes.
Okay. So you were walking down, and there's a lot, like, there are let's see, trying to see if coming through this direction you would actually see anything that's going on. No, you wouldn't really actually see anything that's going on.
Okay.
So, because like coming through, you know, you come through down this way, and you basically,
Yeah.
you know, would be going through this way. So anything that's like on the other side, yeah, no, you wouldn't notice at all.
I mean, the commotion from the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the alarm's not going off anymore. You know, whoever somebody turned it off. And yeah, you wheel this thing over to the lab area.
Also, just to make it clear, especially after, I guess, Anderton had his scene with his boss, Jukes would definitely be by Anderton's side unless he was dismissed, so to speak, because this is definitely where where Glory seems to be most what's the word for it?
Accessible.
Accessible. Yes, that is the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Where Glory is most accessible, there is an up and coming corporate guy that he's now by his side.
And you want to ride on those coattails.
Exactly.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, so I mean, Sean would not dismiss
Awesome.
Jukes. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, you wheel this specimen thing that you have to the labs, and I think go ahead and call it there. As you leave, Vargas just kind of stammering in the terminal, in the ship terminal area, and you just go with your prize.
Yes. Sweet.
All right. Anybody got that XP list ready? I don't have to keep scrolling.
Let me see if I can scroll through it first.
Found it. All right.
You got it. All right.
Everybody gets 1 XP for participating in the session. Risk or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda. Jukes, you definitely got that. Sean, did you get that too? Let's see what your personal agenda is. No. You did not get that one. Jukes, you definitely got that one though.
Indeed.
Ransom. Yeah, Ransom, I'll give that to you. And let's see, Nelson. Nelson, yours is way too vague at the moment.
Hmm?
Your agenda is a little too vague at the moment for me to give you anything on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna need to think of a new agenda.
I do as well.
I don't know what to really give Nelson as an agenda, to be
Well,
honest.
I mean, like, so your agenda can change throughout the game, right? Like, as situations change and whatnot, it's basically like, what is it that your character is trying to do at this point?
So I guess to ride on that, my previous agenda, or the agenda that I established before this session, was find a way to the Oasis, and that definitely happened.
Mm-hmm.
So now that has been accomplished, I need a new agenda.
Yeah, okay. Next one's those agendas. Need to scroll back up again. Did you risk your life for your buddy PC? Or did you challenge or stand up to your rival PC? Nobody did that specifically. Ransom, you made a panic roll. I should have actually made Nelson make a panic roll as well, so I'll give that to you.
Okay.
Overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means. Ransom and Nelson, you got that one. Significant discovery or revelation. Pretty sure I can give that to everybody there.
Already.
Cool.
Performing an extraordinary action. I'm actually gonna give that to Nelson because he his pan throwing escapades.
Nice.
And nobody made any money.
Unless Anderton wants to give me some cash on the side.
Here's $500.
But was there cash? asked. No.
No.
See, Sean
Okay.
Sean would have like told you it's all like your fame and fortune will be coming.
It's
Yeah,
it-
right. It's like
it's-
you'll be
it's-
rewarded in the afterlife or some bullshit.
it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of when musicians try to get a gig, and it's like, you're getting the experience.
You're getting the notoriety.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, man, like playing at our place, man, everybody's gonna know that you're here, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's about right.
Sean's like, everybody's gonna know that you're the one who flew me out to go find this thing. So don't worry, everything that you deserve is gonna be coming to you.
It'll be coming to you.
That corporate doublespeak.
Yeah, what? Oh, shit. I wish I remembered. There's a line in the original Alien movie. I think Dallas says something like, you'll get what's coming to you, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I feel like that's what Andrew Tin would say. You'll get what's coming to you.
You'll get what you deserve. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there also one about a stress point? I mean, I know. A
No,
panic-
that's the panic roll one.
Okay, cool. All right, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, now gaining stress is just a part of the game. Making a panic roll means something actually happened.
Gold. All right.
So yeah, you guys got quite a bit. I think the least somebody got was like 3 points or maybe 4.
Yep.
3.
I got. Yeah.
I thought I got 2.
Did you? Did you only get 2? Session, risk or sacrifice something for your personal agenda. Yeah, no, Sean, you probably only got 2, didn't you?
That's okay.
Okay.
Amazing. So it's okay.
Does anybody have enough to buy anything?
Not me.
I do. I'm not sure what I should put it on because, I mean, I don't know.
Well, you know,
Mobility?
so you know what you need to use for your dodge action?
Huh.
Mobility.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll put some, or at least a point in there.
Yeah, so that'll cost you 5.
Mm-hmm.
Do you currently have anything in mobility?
Yeah, he had 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish I had something in mobility.
I mean, if you wanted to like during the time that you could have like taken some downtime to do stuff, like say he's like, yeah, I want to like go to the gym and work on my mobility kind of thing, right?
Sure. But regardless, I do not have experience enough to up anything, so it doesn't matter.
Right. All right. Anybody else got experience that they can spend?
I'll be spending 5 of my experience to get. It costs 5 to get a talent, right?
So you need for talents, I believe you actually have to have somebody who can teach it to you.
Ah, gotcha. Never mind.
That is correct.
Yeah,
I
you need
think
somebody
that was
who
for
can.
learning new skills.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think in theory, if you don't have anything in a skill, you need that as well.
Yeah. Well, definitely for new skills, but
Yeah.
talents, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It should be under the your character section.
New talents definitely require someone to teach you,
Yeah.
quote unquote teach you. What that means is up to the GM. But yeah,
Let's see here.
I think the movie equivalent is in the second movie. I think the equivalent would be like when Ripley was learning how to use the pulse
The
rifle
rifle, yeah.
from Hicks.
Right.
Okay. Learning talent always
There's
costs
definitely
5.
some
It
teaching.
requires a day of practice and a successful wits roll. So no, you don't need somebody to teach you. You just need the time to be able to do it.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna
So
have.
you need a day of practice and then a successful wits roll. if you have somebody to teach you, the roll succeeds automatically.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, to increase your skill level by 1, cost 5 XP. Learning a new skill by cost 5 XP, but you need to either have tried to use the skill and succeeded without the skill level, or been instructed with somebody who has at least 1 rank of the skill. So if you successfully do an unskilled roll with it, you can learn it for skills or have a teacher. That's what that is.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the thing with trying to learn new talents right now is that I don't think you have the time to dedicate to it, because I think you're a little busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to try to put points into?
To be fair, we did have like 10 sessions where we could have potentially
Been
Learn
learning stuff and yeah.
Yeah, I'll just bump up my ranged combat. No particular reason.
I mean, it's not like you encountered something that you might need this for. All right, but yeah, so that's where we're gonna end it. I hope everybody enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, things are ramping up.
Got to run away
Yes,
from
they
my
are.
life. And I didn't die.
Yeah.
You almost did.
There's still
Yeah,
time.
but I didn't.
There's still time.
Yeah, no, it's that's why I was like, pick a number, roll a d10, and if it landed on the number that you picked, it was going to attack you.
I was gonna either use my dodge or story point to avoid it, had that been the case.
So in a combat situation, a story point can give you an extra success, but it would have done an attack roll at you, and then you would have rolled your mobility, and then you would have compared the amount of successes.
Okay.
So if the success amount was tied, I believe ties go to the attacker on this one.
Really?
I think. I'm trying to remember.
I think so.
I
Just
thought ties went to the defender.
I think it was one of those things that the aliens have kind of, the rules are kind of skewed their way.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Xenomorphs got the benefit in that case.
And in this, like, from what I remember, this game has kind of Call of Cthulhu rules in that, like, whatever is worse for the player.
Right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, regardless, Rule 0, of course, for any game goes to the GM, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But in the case of like a tie or whatever, that would be like a hit or not hit, like using your story point could then get you like the one extra success kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool.
Alright. Well, GG, everybody.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will see y'all next time, and if there's something that you want to me to prepare for next session, just kind of DM me and we can talk about it.
Cool.
Indeed.
Cool.
All right. I
Cool.
will see y'all next time.
All right. Good night.
Night.
Take care.